Hello everyone. Today this here is a follow-up of the ultimate exposure of AnimeBroMii. Today I'm going to be talking about some topics that I wasn't able to talk about in the first video due to time constraints. So without further ado, let's get back into the exposure. Alright, so remember back in my first video when I talked about how ABM is not too happy about other people's inspiration from him. Well, turns out that he is a complete hypocrite. Because, well, for context, for any ABM, there isn't a single veteran ABM fan who doesn't know about Mr. Bollocks, the name of the Goomba in their series. Well, after digging up some research, thanks to their Wikitubia page, on their page on the Wikitubia, it turns out that Mr. Bollocks was actually a name taken from a YouTuber named BigYoshiFan who predates all the way back to 2009. Link to the channel is in the description. And that's not the only YouTuber that ABM gets ideas off of. They also seem to love to rip off SML for a little. Yeah, SML, the plush trooper with one of the most toxic fan bases of all time. The biggest offender is is blatantly ripping off SML's Black Yoshi, who's basically your stereotypical black guy. And of course, there's PF, their version of Chef Pee-Pee from SML. And no, calling him PF doesn't make him any more original. So basically, they claim that they hate it when people copy their style, but yet they have no problem with copying other style. Hypocrisy much, Angel? Moving on. I'm gonna hate this one. So, remember, yeah, so, I don't even know where to begin with this one. So, apparently, AnimeBroMii is racist. So, yes, ABM is indeed racist. What? How is he racist? Well, in the for those who don't know or remember, for all the old fans, ABM is ABM hasn't had ABM had antagonized Black Meat antagonized Black Meat in their Wii game gameplays. In fact, one of the victims that were reviews from ABM actually told them not to antagonize them, but Angel just told them that it was just for a bit of fun. That does sound a bit believable. Turns out that that does sound believable. It seems believable at first, but in another one of their videos, they straight up legit called called a black man a chocolate man. Yeah! Can't get any more racist than that. Moving on. Nope, I'm not done quite yet talking about the characters. But I'm gonna be talking about a character who I think gets a lot more flack on the show than he deserves. Case in point, Wario. So for those who don't know or don't remember, for all the old fans, Wario was one of the first characters from being comic relief slash semi villain to an anti-hero when he converted Lemmy when he made a Lemmy when he turned Lemmy to the good side. Wario had probably one of the most iconic arcs in the entire series. Yet for some reason that us mere mortals cannot comprehend, he's now become the complete butt monkey of ABM. Sometimes even more than Luigi. Why are people calling him a butt monkey? He plays Fortnite. Yeah, apparently because Fortnite is, yes, because look, and take it from someone. Look, I may not like Fortnite, but I'm not one to judge people for hating. But I'm not one to judge people for liking it. I know people legitimately love it. Wario has done so much good for the ABM cast, and this is what he gets? Give me a break. Let's move on. Nope. Alright. It looks like. Alright. Time to. Oh boy. Time for some more. Time for more abuse and harassment. Goody. As it turns out, ABM's harassment and abuse doesn't just stem from sexual means. It's also mental means. So, for context, I like to bring attention to one victim in general. I like to bring attention to one victim in general. Victim D. So this victim was first introduced to ABM in late 2014 when one of their friends who will stay anonymous for this video, out of respect, and safe to say that she was a pretty big fan of their videos, as anyone would. In fact, in 2015, she actually got to meet the guys in her hometown, and they even gave her Captain Falcon amiibo, which, according to the documents, she still has the amiibo, and even said that she was a second brother to him. How cool is that? But then comes September 2015. Angel barely even talks to her anymore or play with her. And talk to her. At first, she assumed he was busy, but then comes May 2016 and starts talking to her again. But then things get worse. No, things get terrible. around mid-June to September, Angel would start making fun of her, insulting about her, insulting insulting her intelligence and weight, and just like, and even making, and calling him a, and calling her a wannabe, just because she likes role playing. Because God forbid anyone have any kind of inspiration for ABM. And he has the audacity, the nerve to start calling him Mr. Right. And she keeps telling him to stop, but he thinks but Angel refuses because he thinks he's in the right. Oh, and then he starts spreading lies about her in his Twitch streams and even his other friends. And not to mention, he then starts. Oh, and yet again, he starts hiding behind his plushies when he's insulting her. Oh, and he would even force her to show her face, or threaten to be removed from his friends list. Yep. So now he's basically extorting and guilt trapping victims. Wow. So it's safe to say that this emotionally and mentally broke her. But Angel does not give one shit. But of course, Angel doesn't give a single shit. Of course, I mean, what do you guys expect? If he can't take criticism, why would he ever stop what he was doing? But then we get to another point. For context, ABM had a villager plush, started having Animal Crossing characters in his show in 2015, and one of those plushes just so happened to be an Animal Cross, and just so one of them happened to be a pink villager plush. And you wanna know what the funny thing is? That was her plush. ABM manipulated her to give it to him in exchange for a Shulk amiibo, since she was hunting for it. And to this day, she regrets giving Angel that plush. And while he did give her a shadow, which is okay, I suppose. But then things get even worse. So in 2016, ABM started doing Minecraft videos. Bound to happen sooner or later. And this victim actually got to join. Got to join, and Angel forced her to work on it, to stay up all night and work on it, even though she had plans for the night, for tomorrow, but nope, Angel forced her to rush it out or be removed from the friend list. He was so you can imagine how desperate he was to get those views. And here's the thing: if you actually go back to the end of the video, go back to the random video, you can hear that this victim you could tell that the victim was very, very tired and pretty upset for having to stay up and work on a video, rather than be able to do some things that she knows she would have to do. In fact, they finished filming at 4 a.m. in the morning. In October 2016, he decided. But then, because God forbid ABM learn anything, on October 2016, ABM would keep on harassing her would keep insulting her weight and embarrassing her in front of his fans. And so in October 6th, and that was the last straw for her, and she finally removed her from his friends list in October 2016. And good for her. But of course, ABM just couldn't leave her alone. Couldn't just leave her alone, and even message her on Facebook a few days afterwards, and called him and he said, and I quote, "You're useless anyway. I hope you have a nice fat ass life, and I hope you kill yourself." Wow. Just wow. These guys, man. But it gets worse. In either December 2016 or January 2017, she doesn't really fully remember, she found out that Angel had threatened to call the police on another one of her friends because Angel assumed that she told one of her friends Angie's old address. Of course that wasn't the case, and thankfully he wasn't enslaved or anything. I mean, imprisoned, my bad. But that's still pretty low. But we're not done. Strap in. There's another victim I would like to bring attention to. Victim G. They were a pretty big fan of ABM back in middle school. But like myself, they haven't been enjoying their recent videos with their pretty bad messages, and of course their terrible grammar. But they also saw their Twitch streams and saw how rude they can be. One day they were invited to play Fortnite. And sounds simple enough, right? But of course, there's always a catch. Angel and his friend, Angel and his friends, according to Victim G, the way Angel and his friends were helping them, it was almost, they could tell that they were making fun of them for being a slow learner or not understanding the game. But then here's the juicy part. It turns out that Angel in one of their Smash Ultimate World of Light playthrough videos, Angel banned somebody. Why? Because somebody said that they preferred their YouTube content and calling them dogs and called them a dog slash content digger. Okay, that just makes no sense. I mean, Angel, Isaac, like, you do realize that when people come to watch for you, it's mostly for YouTube. I mean, very rarely, people come for the plushies, right? So, why are you getting so upset? Why are you doing a tantrum over somebody preferring your YouTube content? Like, what? Alright, let's wrap this up. Look, I really did not want to make this kind of video. I didn't want to believe that any of this was real, but the evidence was too damning to possibly be considered fake. Ever since after my first video after making my first part of this video, it seems that Angel still has no intention of coming clean about his act. Either that he doesn't know I made this kind of video, or that he has and he's just choosing to ignore it just to keep his clout. But if there's anything good that came out of this, my first video actually managed to get some old fans to rebel. So the ban ABM efforts are still working in our favor. Though it doesn't seem like Angel's gonna be cleaning up his act anytime soon. You know, sometimes it's just sad when these kind of YouTubers gets one of these videos on YouTube. Well, that's really all I've got for today. If you want to see my first video, link will be in the description below. Of course, if you like this video, be sure to share this, and just like the old video, just like the first one, share both this and the first video to anyone you know is a fan of ABM. Like, you can. And like last time, if you're an ABM fan and you're watching this video, it's not too late to change your mind. You can step into the light and leave ABM for good. No one will judge you. Well, we won't, at least. Well, that's all I've got. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell to get notified about my latest videos, and the link to the first exposure video will be in the description below. Drawn out.